They say that Governor Lachlan Macquarie, also known as the road builder, was a perspicacious chap. But how could he have known that the byways he created through the Hawkesbury district, northwest of Sydney, New South Wales, could be so perfectly suited to motorcycling?
Hi, my name's Jim Scaysbrook. I'm the editor of Old Bike Australasia magazine, and we're here this weekend for the Macquarie Town's annual rally.
The rally is held on the last weekend of July through the district encompassing Windsor, Richmond, Castlereagh, Pitt Town and Wilberforce. It provides some superb rides, a network of incredibly scenic, undulating country roads that just cry out to be ridden upon.
I'm with Gary Appleyard, who's the president of the Macquarie Town's Motorcycle Restoration and Preservation Club. That's right, a bit of a mouthful. This is the 15th running of their annual rally. How many have you got this year, Gary?
We think about 148, maybe 150 bikes. It's a little bit up on last year. We thought 2 weeks out that it was going to be a lot less, but they've all come good and entered in on the day or just before the day, which is good. Yeah.
That's a bit of a motorcycling thing. We always enter at the last minute, don't you?
Look out the window.
Yeah.
Sky.
Yes, that's right. And have you noticed a change at all in the way the earlier bikes, if you like, I suppose, probably a few less this year, but the other ones, it's made up because there are more later model ones?
Yeah, there's more Japanese bikes, definitely more Japanese. The bigger classes are the 68s to 70, 77, 80, 85, and even probably a little bit later. Our club is 10 years and older, so in that group we do get a lot of, mostly Japanese bikes.
Yeah, I guess it's the bikes that we all grew up with in the 70s that and they're accessible.
And they're reasonably sporting, they're fast.
Yeah. It's been another fantastic turnout, beautiful weather.
Yeah, always. Yeah, we've been lucky. I think we've had one dose of rain in the last 15 years.
Oh, that's excellent.
Which is good, which is really good.
Really good show.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gary.
Saturday's route took riders through Currajong and then along the pleasant country roads north to the morning tea stop at the Colo River. Then it was off to Hillside Public School and Catto Ridge for lunch and judging, with bikes divided into categories ranging from pre-war to 2004. There's
some marvellous bikes here today, including almost a complete set of the Suzuki GT 750s, the famous or infamous perhaps water bottle, including this one, which belongs to Dave Howe, former president of the Macquarie Towns Club. Dave, what can you tell us about this one?
This bike I've had for a few years now, but really it's only been on the road for about a year and a half, and still, even now, with a few little teething problems, but generally it's a very comfortable bike to ride.
Yeah, and being water cooled, good for summer, they keep their temperature down. And
They do. The needle sits just there under halfway on the gauge all the time, never seems to get hot or cold. When Suzuki originally built the earlier models with a fan on board, and I don't think there's ever a fan that's ever run on a three-cylinder Suzuki, because they took them off from the next model on, The bracketry and the wiring's there for it, but they never needed it. These things, they just into fifth gear and labour along at 3,000 revs and uphill and down dale sort of thing. And if you want to ride a little bit more spiritedly, you can, and there's plenty on board to overtake and get yourself out of trouble when need be.
Oh, thanks, Dave. It's a very interesting bike and a credit to you.
Thanks, Jim.
Probably no more famous name in motorcycling, particularly if you've been around for a while like I have, than Norton, and he's a really excellent example of a immediate post-war model 500 single. This one's owned by Michael Trig. Can you tell us a bit about the bike?
It's a 1951 EST frame. I originally bought the bike in pieces, or made it up from parts I got from various swap meets throughout the state, and so put it together with quite a few modifications to it. It's got an international petrol tank on it, the international oil tank. It's got a all-alloy 500T engine in it, which is pretty rare. They only come out on the trials bike. It's got a forged high compression piston in it with Carrillo rod and big 1.25 inch Speedway big end in it with a close ratio box behind it. Goes really good.
Yeah, you see, you got the best of everything in this one.
Yeah. TT carburettor.
Yeah.
Goes good. Yeah.
Is this the first time out, or have you done a few rallies?
He's been finished about 3 years now. This is probably the second major rally that I've been on.
The frame on this one's the plunger frame with a plunger rear end, early model Norton forks, whereas the bike beside us here is a much later evolution of that with a featherbed frame, big front brake, much more later style of bike. Thanks very much, Michael.
Thanks very much for asking me to interview.
Saturday night's presentation dinner at Windsor RSL gives local and interstate riders the chance to catch up and hopefully take home one of the awards. Taking advantage of the beautiful winter sunshine, the keener riders backed up for a shorter run on Sunday that started from the same spot and finished at Grey Gums on the Putty Road. It was a very healthy turnout for the second day, and as always, the organisation was excellent. It's easy to see why the Macquarie Towns Rally has become one of the most popular on the increasingly crowded rally calendar, catering for bikes from veteran up to 2000 and taking in some truly glorious roads. It's definitely something to mark on your calendar for 2017.